everyone. Welcome to Fat Sugar Glider episode 4. The weight loss journey continues. This may be my last Fat Sugar Glider episode. Specifically, I'll probably still keep you up to date on how Natiri is doing, you know, as I release new videos. But as far as this specific series goes, I think this might be it. I have some updates for you. I also wanted to address a couple things that kind of popped up, some questions that popped up along the way as I was working on the first 3 episodes, and then after I released them, questions people had, comments people made. One thing I will mention, my son is 10 and I gave him my camera to film a couple things, and I'm so sorry, it's very shaky. He got a little excited and a little carried away with his filming abilities. But I mean, she's thinner than she was. You can't compare her to the other ones. That's not fair. She's her own individual.
I'm sorry that I'm shaking a lot.
A couple things I wanted to talk about. One question that was a really great question that people asked is basically, like, how do you put one sugar glider on a diet when you have multiple sugar gliders in a colony? So really that you really can't. So basically what I've had to do is just modify all of their food, but you can't modify it to an extreme amount, obviously, because you still want it to be within the parameters of what your healthy staple is. So because of the staple that I feed, which is TPG, it allows for a lot of variety of fruits and vegetables. So I've tried to pick lower sugar fruits and vegetables. I have an exciting announcement. I'm working on a diet video. It's been the most popular requested one. I am working on it. It should launch here pretty soon. Yeah, so that's exciting. One thing I wanted to mention too that I forgot to mention when I was talking about not being able to modify just one glider's diet is that I do try to modify the kind of treats. So like I'll separate Stella Luna and Balky away from the cage and I'll give them treats. Not in front of Natiri, obviously, because that's like mean. But I do give them more treats. And when I'm feeding the mealyworms, this is another good tip that I don't think I shared in the other videos. The pupa of the mealyworms, so like there's like the mealyworm, and then they turn into this weird translucent middle. It's not a mealyworm and it's not a beetle. It's like the transition between the mealyworm and the beetle, but that has less fat and more protein. So I will pick those specifically and give those to Natiri if I'm going to give her a couple treats. I still give her some treats, but I cut way back, and I completely cut corn out of the diet. I have done that for quite a while, but now it's like a strict no-no. Unless it was like, you know, I might give them like corn on the cob as like a cheat night, like once every 6 months or something. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Those of you, if you haven't seen episode 1, 2, and 3 of the Fat Sugar Glider series, basically what I did was I just kind of documented kind of realizing like my girl Natiri got a problem with her weight, then what things I implemented in her diet and in her exercise, and why, and all of that is in the first 3 episodes. One thing I want to mention in, I think it's episode 2, could be episode 1, I think it's episode 2, I helped Natiri groom her hind end. She, for whatever reason, had not really been grooming her kind of behind. She did not have diarrhea. She was not sickly. She just wasn't, it just wasn't getting super clean. And I don't know how much of that had to do with her weight. I don't really know what was going on, but I let it be for quite a while and it just wasn't getting a whole lot better. So I show you how I took a warm washcloth and I just cleaned her behind. I got some hate for that. And basically what I just wanted to say is that I only very lightly wet the areas that needed to be cleaned. Then I immediately put her in my shirt, and she was not like dripping wet. She was not cold. It was plenty warm in my house, plenty warm in my shirt. I was not hurting her while I was doing that. She was not comfortable, but it needed to happen. So Thanks, Alexa. If you do ever do even any variation of what I did with just a really like a warm washcloth and just a section of their fur, you don't want to wipe a whole glider down. Sometimes if a glider is really greasy or they have their fur is in bad shape, it's probably due to their diet. They really need to be on a staple diet or the cleanliness of their cage or both. This was not the case for her. Her coat and everything was great. She was not oily and greasy. It was just like, she just had a little bit, and I only had to do it that one time on her hind end. So I almost wish I didn't even include that in the series because there's been quite a bit of hubbubaloo about it. Again, if you ever did something like that with your glider, bathing gliders is not safe. Please, please don't ever bathe your sugar gliders. And I don't know if it just didn't come across in the video, but she was not getting really wet. There was a very small portion of her body that was getting a little bit wet, and then she was immediately warmed up and immediately dried. If you ever do that, you also want to make sure you do not dry with like a blow dryer. Sugar gliders have gotten hurt from people doing that in the past, and you don't want to get them any more wet than what I was doing in the video. And even then, maybe you shouldn't even do that. Like, consult a vet before you were even to do what I did. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, again, I'll just really quickly address this. She is my only overweight glider, and all of my gliders are on the same meal plan, have access to the same activities. So one of the comments that I got was basically that I was doing something wrong and that's why she's so fat, which was so nice of somebody. So basically, white face sugar gliders, and this is also controversial apparently. Everything I say is controversial in this video apparently. White face sugar gliders tend to genetically be more predispositioned to be overweight. This has to do with the original lines of the white face. That's debated, apparently. I thought it was kind of just a known fact. Everything can be debated. Almost every obese sugar glider that I've seen, or even just a little bit overweight sugar glider that I've seen, that's in a colony of gliders that for the most part is not overweight, it's just the only one in the colony that is a white face. So that theory seems like it stands up to me. So like if you, I know quite a few people that have gliders that are all different color variations, and they're all at a healthy weight except for their white face. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think there is something to say about genetics, but that doesn't mean that you can't be proactive and do what you can. You don't want to just throw up your hands and be like, oh, well, they're just going to be super fat. I don't think that's a good attitude to have about it either. Increasing activity, modifying diet, those are the things that I went over in the other videos. So be sure to check those out if you are trying to figure out how to help your glider lose weight. Obviously, what I've been doing has been helping, as you will see in the video. Spoiler alert, but it has been. Hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And just so you know, when you give a video a thumbs up on YouTube, I didn't really understand this before I started a YouTube channel. It helps the YouTube algorithm. So it actually helps YouTube show the video to more people, which obviously helps the person that is creating the videos be more successful on their channel. So I really would appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, hope you enjoy. Here's a teary girl. Oh. Are you ready to get weighed? Huh? Oh, we got a poop all over me. Well, you might as well get the poop out so you're skinniest. Yeah. We gotta do a teary update. See if you're any skinnier. So I'm done doing a nail trim on them and poop everywhere. Hi, baby girl. You're gonna poop some more? Yep, you totally are. That's so gross. Oop. Okay, no, stay there. Stay there. I don't want you to climb on me if you're pooping. Okay, there we go. Hi, baby. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna maybe see if I can use this, since the other pouch kind of has poop in it. I'm just gonna weigh this first so that we know the difference. Okay, so this weighs 26 grams. Now I'll see if I can get her to go in there. Last time I think she was 172 grams. Are you ready? Are you ready to get weighed? Say, don't I look skinnier, Mama? I think you look skinnier. I do, but I'm a little afraid to weigh you. I think last time you were 172 grams. I think I said this was 26 grams. Let's see. Stop moving around. Okay, so with the bag, she's 187. Teary girl! You're getting skinnier! Yay! I thought she was looking skinnier. You lost a bunch of grams. What a good girl. What a good baby. Yes. It's a good girl. Well, I just have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is not Nateri because she's less fat. So excited. Yes, I got my paper out. So on November 19th, she was 171 grams. So that's November 19th of 2019. When we took her to the doctor for her medical stuff she had going on, she was 187. That is not correct because when I weighed her 10 days later, she was 171. So I think that that was not an accurate weight. I think the vet maybe forgot to tear the scale or something. And she was wiggling around and it was hard for the person to get an accurate weight. So that's not correct. Then on March 2nd, she was 172. So we'd only done doing, you know, some stuff for a little bit. So then I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna keep doing all the stuff that I've talked about in the other videos that we've been doing to help her lose weight. So today she's 161 grams. She does look skinnier. She feels lighter in my hand. I've noticed her exercising on her wheel more, and that is so awesome. Yeah, Nateri lost 11 grams. It's pretty exciting. She's not as much of a chub anymore. Are you gonna say anything except for
Maybe.
Well,
I heard you.
Yeah, I know. I kind of took away this element of surprise, didn't it?
Dom didn't hear you.
Oh yeah, Dom. You know how Nateri's been we've been trying to help her lose weight?
Yeah.
And she's been exercising in her tent and stuff?
Yeah.
She lost 11 grams.
Well, what's 11 grams mean?
It's like, I don't know how many pounds it would be. It's good though. She lost a bunch of weight.
Can I see?
Can you see her?
Yeah.
Well, she's in my shirt right now.
Can you take it out?
Okay, fine, I will. Hold on.
Wait, do you want to?
Well, yeah, I guess it's fine. Are you ready to see the skinnier Nateri? Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh. She is so better.
Isn't she better?
Yes.
She's skinny baby.
Oh, poop.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
It doesn't look like she's any thinner.
What? I think it does.
I mean,
You don't listen to him. You are a skinny mini. I know you still have some ways to go, but you're still you're going the right direction now.
I mean, can I see the others and see?
The other video?
No.
Well, no, she's still the fattest of the three, but I mean, she's thinner than she was. You can't compare her to the other ones. That's not fair. She's her own individual. She is. The scale does not lie, except for at the vet.
Poop?
I know there's poop. I'll get it. Good night.
Hi, Dad.
What are you doing, man?
Recording.
Nateri lost 11 grams.
Yeah.
And she's 11 grams skinnier.
Oh, what a sweet girl.
Isn't she such a skinny mini? The story of my life is just poop. Just all about poop. Yeah.
Sorry that I'm shaking a lot. I don't think I'm gonna have a shook that I when I'm done with.
Dude, she's took a dump again.
Oh my word.
Here.
Okay, fine. Here.
It's
You
duty.
guys are really messing with my celebration video by complaining about her pooping. The poor thing.
She's okay. But frick, man. She poops more than I do.
I know. She really does. She really is the poopinest kid.
All right, should I start recording now?
Yes, please. All right, you guys. Obviously, my family is obsessed with poop. I hear that all the time. Nateri really does poop more than the other ones. Like when I have the other ones out and they're on me, they hardly ever poop. She is just like the poopinest kid. She just poops all the time. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Again, sorry if you have motion sickness from my son's filming, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this has been helpful in some way, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I just had to share something funny. So in the first episode of my Fat Sugar Glider, the weight loss journey or whatever, I was talking about how I just took Nateri to the vet and how she was overweight and this and that. And I was depressed about it apparently. And so I got donuts. And I thought it was kind of ironic because I'm now editing the final episode of Fat Sugar Glider while eating pie. I don't know. It's like, you remember the Biggest Loser? I don't think that's even still a show, but when that was a show, how everybody would always like watch The Biggest Loser and eat ice cream. So I don't know, maybe it's something about that. So that was pretty funny. Eating pie and editing is not a good idea. Look what I just did. Oh no. Darn you, pie. By the way, in case you're wondering, the pie I am eating while editing is a homemade blueberry rhubarb pie that my mom made me. I can't even share it with Nateri to celebrate because sugar gliders cannot have rhubarb. Sad. Okay, one last, oh, hello. What are you doing? You smell my pie? What are you doing, honey? I would give you some, but it has rhubarb in it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.